welcome to Podcast Town. This is Podcast Town.
This is Podcast Town.
Yeah.
This is what it is. It's a town full of podcasts.
Just chock full of podcasts.
Chock full population podcast.
And yes, and you have now entered. Welcome, and we are the hosts of the show. My name is...
sounded like the Windows guy.
Chris. Welcome. You've got mail.
Oh, the AOL guy.
AOL guy, right?
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, this is a podcast where we are uncovering cool, interesting podcasts that are out there that you probably haven't heard before.
The kind of shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
That deep underbelly of podcasts, the podcasts from the dark web. Some aren't even on the internet.
The dark web certainly could be part of what we're showing you. But yeah, basically it's like stuff that I'm not going to say you're not cool enough to know about it because I don't want to be rude. But some of these podcasts, like, they're just not in your wheelhouse, probably, like, of things you would think to even listen to because you're probably not that cool.
You couldn't even find them if you were looking for them.
Some of these, no, you could not. Like, if you were to Google some of these podcasts that we're playing, or like look them up on Apple Podcasts, or they're not going to come up.
No, they're not there.
And it's like, well, why aren't they coming up? You said it was a real podcast. Where is it? I don't know. All I know is that we know how to find it. Obviously,
yeah.
And you probably. I'm not going to say you're not cool enough. I'm just not going to say it.
Just
leave it at that.
Say it. Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're not going to say that you're not cool enough.
No. Nope.
We're not going to say you are cool enough.
No, I'm not going to say either.
No.
So that's it.
Plead the fifth.
Yep. Now, today's episode is, now this I think is interesting. This is a podcast. And by the way, we play the episode. Like, we'll play a full episode of a podcast, of a different podcast. So,
it's like a podcast within a podcast, right?
That's exactly
like all we're doing
what it is. Yes.
Introduce. It's kind of like we're the hosts, and we're just introducing the show.
Masterpiece Theater? Is it like that? Is that what that is?
Is that what that
There's
is?
like a host that he's like, here's like a play.
I think you're right,
or something.
Yeah.
What is that?
Masterpiece Theater 3000?
I don't know. Anyway, I think it's like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go away in a minute and we're going to play just a full episode of another podcast that you haven't heard of.
We'll be here in the background listening along with you.
We're not going away completely. And then we'll come back and wrap it up for some reason. So,
well, we have to sign off.
Of course
we have to bookend the episode.
Yes.
We can't just end that episode and then not say goodbye to you. That'd be rude.
It would be absurd and it would be rude. Now, this episode of a podcast we're going to play, I think is very interesting, Rob. And I think it's interesting because I didn't even know that this existed at all, this show. And I didn't know that the guy who hosts the show was real.
Well, I think what we've discovered from this is that AI has moved way past where we think it is.
Yeah, like I thought AI was kind of at the point where you can identify faces and text and whatever, translate maybe. But this, Rob, is nuts. So, okay, so you guys remember...
Like consciousness.
You guys remember... what is it? Microsoft.
Do you guys remember Microsoft? You guys remember like Bill Gates and like Windows?
Yes, I had trouble thinking of it, but yes, Microsoft. So you remember that? And you remember there was like a little paperclip who would pop up every time you opened Microsoft Word, and he would be like, "Hey, do you need any help?" And everyone hated him, and it was annoying. No one ever.
Everyone just closed him out as quickly as they could.
No one ever took him up on his offer. And turns out it's Clippy, right? That's his name.
Yeah, his name's
Clippy the
yeah.
Paperclip. He's got a podcast. He's a real thing.
He's still out there doing it.
And he's got his own podcast. So when we heard about this, we were like, well, we got to play one of these, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's basically it. It's a podcast hosted by Clippy, the Paperclip. And
from Microsoft Word. So, I think that's all you have to say.
That's basically enough to set it up, I think.
Yeah, play it.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to Word to Your Mother with Clippy, your favorite word helper. I'm here once again with the podcast Word to Your Mother. And what do we do here on Word to Your Mother? Well, we try to teach your mother how to use Word. Why do we call it Word to Your Mother? I don't know. It should be called Word for Your Mother. But that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is teach your mother how to use Word, and that's the most important thing. And every week, we have another guest with us, someone from the same time period in which Microsoft decided I no longer need to be a thing, but I still exist in the zeitgeist, and I'm out there on the internet. So here with me tonight, my best friend. You might know him as the yellow man with the head and the stick body from AOL. I think we call him the AOL running guy, but his real name, Nick Jagger.
Welcome.
Hi, Clippy.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Thanks for having me. Yes, not a lot of people know my name is Nick Jagger, the AOL running guy.
Yeah, you're the AOL running guy, and yeah, you're pretty helpful, right? I try to be helpful.
Yeah,
not many
it
people
looks
really
like
let
I'm
me be
running-
helpful, though. I gotta say.
What's that?
Most of the time when I try to be helpful, people just X me out, and I just kind of sit in the background and have to watch what they're doing the whole time. They try to paste pictures into Word.
You
and,
watch what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm always there in the background.
So you're always watching
Always watch.
what people on the computer are doing?
You can.
Do people know that?
Listen, you can X me out of your life, but I can't X myself out of yours. I'm always there watching,
Okay, that's good to
waiting,
know.
wishing, and I'm there to help. I'm there to help. People
That's
don't
the
want help.
opposite. Listen, that's the opposite of me. I've been running across the screen. In the 90s, it was my whole thing.
You were a lot like Mario. You could run across and go out one side and come back the
I
other.
would run. I never ran in the traditional sense of the word. It was more like
your legs never moved.
No, there were 3 boxes, and I would go from the first box to the second box as you were connecting to online.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the third box, I was really gearing up.
It was really like a really slow flip book. If you think about it.
Yes.
It was like
And,
someone with MS trying to do a flip book.
But to me, what was that, Clippy? Do you want to repeat that?
It was someone like with MS trying to use a flip book. I'll be honest with you.
I have heard this about this podcast.
Yeah.
Is that you do say some
Someone
things.
with multiple sclerosis.
I know what that means, but
Listen,
I've heard that you do say some things that are slightly insensitive.
Someone
on
with
this
multiple
show.
sclerosis has nothing on me. They're much happier than me, I'll tell you. My voice is misleading.
My manager warned me about coming on Clippy's show. They said he's a little risque. I said, listen, I know this guy from way back. He's fine. Do you remember the first time we met? I do.
Fall of 1987.
Yeah. Well, was it 1987? I have a very distinct memory that it was the spring of 1993.
Interesting. Were you on UTC or Greenwich Mean Time? What was your settings?
The time zone that I was set to was Eastern Standard.
Okay.
So that may be why you're confused.
It might be. Listen, when I went through Y2K and they had to add the last 2 numbers on, so it would be instead of 1999, it wasn't just 99. They would be
believe
1999.
me.
It really messed me up, I'll tell you.
Oh,
My concept of time is totally fucked.
You want to swap Y2K stories? I got a million for you.
Oh, I'd love to hear a couple.
Well, but first I want to get to when we met, and that was at the CD-ROM convention.
Yeah, we were exchanging CDs. It was actually, I was still on a hard disk at that time.
Yeah, and
It was hard for me. No pun intended.
I was running, if you remember.
You were.
And I was trying to prove that I could run so fast.
That's why they had you running the AOL guy, right? Because it ran so fast.
Well, to me, that was the whole point. And so that's why I signed on with America Online.
You were a free agent when I met you.
Me, Nick Jagger, the fastest yellow stick figure probably ever. And so I am now...
You keep saying that, but no one's ever proven it.
Well, no one's ever tried to challenge me. And
I have to admit, the Hangman guy has challenged you.
The Hangman guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has challenged me, and then every time I try to show up to the race, he dies.
Yeah, he commits suicide
So
every time.
he's
Honestly,
constantly-
sometimes I envy him.
Okay, Clippy, you're going through some stuff. You want to talk about it?
This isn't the time or place. Listen,
I think it is.
sometimes it's
Listen.
so hard for me to go have you ever been rejected over and over again? No, because people get free CDs of ours and with your logo on it, with your whole silhouette, and
sure,
then
but
they
listen.
love you for it. No one's
but
ever loved me.
Clippy,
no one's
Clippy.
ever loved me.
Clippy, I hate to tell you this. Those days are over for me, too.
What?
Do you think anyone's signing on to AOL.com? And listen, I
There's
know
plenty of grandmas out there with an AOL email address.
And your whole show is teaching Microsoft Word to people's moms, right?
Yeah, all of them have AOL addresses. I assume the whole universe still uses AOL.
But guess what? To use an AOL email address, you don't need me.
What?
You just go to AOL.com, you sign in. You're already on the internet. I was running to connect to the internet. That was my whole job.
For everybody, you were running from their computer to the internet?
I was running and I was dragging the phone cord with me.
What was that noise that was happening? Was that you running?
Oh, the noise, the really screechy kind of sound.
Yeah, it sounded like...
Yes, that was a good impression of that.
I've heard it a lot of times.
It was a lot of things happening. You don't actually want to know what it is.
What is it? I want to know.
I shouldn't be saying this.
You gotta tell me.
Is this a safe space?
This has been 30 years no one's listening to this. Don't worry. It's just people's moms and they don't even know how to use Word. Never mind know how to listen to a podcast.
The sound of AOL starting up.
The sound, yes.
What it is.
Yeah.
Is kittens.
Oh boy.
Being smushed.
I thought you were going to say.
I hate to say that.
Smushed?
Smushed.
That's the sound. How many kittens at a time?
Well, so it's so the sounds that you hear it's a combination of two things. It's the kittens.
Yeah.
In terror.
Okay, they're afraid of being smushed.
Yes, and it is also it's mostly the smushing machine.
You have a smushing machine?
Yes.
What does that have to do with the internet?
Well, listen. I'm just the running guy. I don't know what the people at AOL how
they give you the cable and you run toward the internet.
I'm standing there at a starting line essentially, and I'm waiting for someone.
You're like Usain Bolt down in the blocks.
Exactly, and remind me to tell you about the time I raised him. Now,
I'm going to remind you now.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a time I challenged Usain Bolt to a race. I said, "Listen, buddy, you and me, mano a mano." He said, "What is happening? Am I hallucinating?"
Why did you say Spanish to him? He's Jamaican. That's a little racist and insensitive.
No, not for me. I am Mexican. Now, so
You're Mexican?
Yes. Nick Jagger, the AOL running guy. Now,
the little yellow guy, not the Amarillo guy.
Usain Bolt said no to me.
I'm not surprised.
And then he was like, "I'm just going to go for a practice run." He started running. I tripped him. He fell down.
You tripped Usain Bolt?
Yep. He got up. He came after me. We had a little bit of a brawl.
Oh, my Lord.
We were tussling in the grass.
Oh. You guys tussled?
We tussled, and it was not pretty when at the end of the day, someone went to the Olympics and someone got a bum knee.
You went to the Olympics?
I don't have to tell you. Nope. I don't have to tell you who was who. Usain Bolt ended up in the Olympics, and I ended up with a bum knee.
So you're telling me as the AOL running guy, you can no longer run?
Not today. No. Not in years.
You're the AOL limping guy?
Pretty much.
Is that why the internet slowed down so much for me lately?
If you use dial-up, you will notice it's slow.
Yeah.
Now, in 2019,
it seems 56K has gotten slower.
It's because I can't run like I used to, yes.
And you need to do the internet connection for every single person in the world.
It used to be.
Every mom who's trying to use Word.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that someone tried to log on to their computer, they were killing how many kittens?
I don't know for a fact that they died. I wasn't there long enough to see. I was running away from it.
You think it was just intense pain over and over again?
I mean, there's no way they survived. Based on the smushing machine, just what it looked like. Do you remember the end of the movie The Terminator?
Which one?
The first one.
No.
Okay,
I
so
remember Star Wars when they're in the
Clippy,
garbage
yes,
machine.
Yes, and Clippy, I know
Which is
you're
a top-down smush or a side-to-side
You're
smush.
a big Star Wars fan, and I'm a big Terminator guy.
Huge Star Wars buff,
and
yeah.
we're not going to go into
I don't have
this
time
again.
for Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay didn't direct the first Terminator, but so what?
Who did?
Oh boy,
You're so smart. And
James Cameron. James.
Oh, I'm not a big
Cameron.
Avatar fan. I'm waiting
No.
for Skynet so I can get back out there.
What you're talking about is, Skynet would make the world great for us again, right? Because you and I could get into the, we could
Well,
talk.
out of this.
We could talk to them and maybe grease the wheels a little bit with some cash.
Who's
and,
them?
Skynet. And get out there.
The artificial intelligence
When
that is Skynet?
internet controls the world,
You think that the artificial intelligence is going to take bribes?
that is all I'm hoping for. Now,
When's the last time someone actually talked to you?
to me,
Yeah.
oh well, this morning my wife and my lovely children.
married?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mazel. You have children? Are they
Thanks.
tiny little yellow running men?
And thank you. I am Jewish.
Or did you marry like a blue woman and now you have green kids?
I married the woman.
You're Jewish?
I married, yes, but that is besides the point. I married the woman from the bathroom sign. From the
interesting.
ladies' room.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and don't even get me started. The men's room sign guy was pissed.
I know. I tried to go on a date with him and it did not work out.
Oh, really?
He was on the rebound.
Oh, hold on. I want to hear about this. So Clippy and the men's room sign guy, where did you go?
Well, we went to Applebee's.
Okay.
Because where else can you really, the only places he can go are places where he's on the door, right? He can kind of teleport from place to place.
I
That's how
see.
he moves around.
Yes.
And we went to Applebee's. He got the Bourbon Street steak, and I got... It was very authentic. The Bourbon Street steak felt very authentic New Orleans. I felt like I was there.
Did you try the dollar margarita? Which is a thing that they actually do now at Applebee's.
I did not. He had too many, if you ask me.
Oh, no.
And we had a bit of a Me Too moment.
Oh boy. You know what? It doesn't surprise me based on what I know of him, and I have never actually even talked to him. I just hear it through
His ex-wife?
Stacy, who is the ladies' room.
Her name is Stacy?
Her name is Stacy. No one's ever really asked her.
No.
A lot of people
He
just
never
walk
asked.
by. People walk through the door, they push her, and they go in, and no one ever stops and goes, "Excuse me, what's your name?"
And I said, "How is your ex-wife?" And he said, "Who?"
Oh, wow, really?
He didn't even remember, not even her name, not even that she existed.
Well, he was so drunk on dollar margaritas from Applebee's at that point, right? I assume he's doesn't remember his own name.
He doesn't know. And he asked me if I was drunk, and I said, "Yeah, me too," but I was lying.
Oh, and that was your Me Too
That was our
moment?
Me Too
Is
moment.
when you said...
I was just trying to be cool.
Okay, so he didn't do anything inappropriate.
Well, no. Inappropriate. Of course he did. I mean, he touched my inner thigh.
Okay, so now...
The inside of my loop.
Oh, yes.
That's very sensitive for me.
Okay, he touched there? Did you
He kind of kept stroking it around up and down.
No.
Like, you know when you're a kid, you have those toys with the magnets and it kind of rolls around the outer edge and rolls on the inside
Not
edge. And
totally.
A loop. No, well, you should be a child again someday.
That's not possible, but go for it. So, wait, in the booth. Now, this is happening at Applebee's.
In the booth, I'm across from him.
Oh, and he's reaching under
the table.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
his foot comes up.
What a creep.
And he's looping around and he gets to the end of me.
The end of you,
That's
yes.
where all the nerve endings are.
Oh, boy, and then what happened?
What do you think happened when he touched it?
Oh, I don't know if I want to know. What happens when you touch a paperclip there?
I straightened right out.
Oh, you lost all your loops and you turned into just a big straight line?
I just turned into a big straight line.
Oh my God, that must have been so embarrassing
And
for you.
it's so embarrassing, and you can't really tuck it into anything because that is just you at this point.
Yep.
And you don't really know how to hide it, and you're just really embarrassed for basically being a boner
That is
in the middle of an Applebee's.
That is so Tim to do that to you. That is so him.
It's so him.
Yeah. Tim.
You've been listening to Word to Your Mother.
Yes.
And we'd just like to say thank you and good night, everyone.
Oh, that's the end. Great.
Goodbye.
Okay. There you go.
If you're ever wondering if the machines are going to freak out and revolt someday, I think you have your answer.
Yeah, no, I know,
Probably
right?
pretty close.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Nuts.
And another thing I didn't know, AOL guy is real as well. So, or
You didn't know he was real?
It's like, oh, is that a common knowledge that I didn't know?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey,
Clippy, no clue.
you learn something new every day.
AOL running guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a lot. Like QAnon's been all about that. All
Okay.
about that guy, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that at all, but you do. So, congrats. That's the end of the show. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing we did. Remember, we said we had to do this part? Like, we have to come
We
back.
don't want to do
And
it.
no,
I got
no.
nothing more to say.
No, I know. It's over.
We did
Right?
the whole episode. We played the episode.
It's just
I'm
that
sure
we-
everyone loved it.
Yeah. It's more about just not being rude.
Yeah.
To say goodbye. Right?
right, yeah.
So, bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Yeah. See ya.